Hi, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of.
Race Rats podcast. I don't know why I said that so strange.
What was
I
that?
don't know, I got shy.
No, but it was like shy first part of that,
Yeah.
and then the last part was like, I know what I'm
Actually,
doing.
wait a sec.
I
I've
do
done
this.
this before.
I've done this 9 times
Yeah, I
before.
don't know. I just felt I got shy. Debbie Ryan.
Oh my god.
She was running through my mind.
Oh, well, welcome back. It's officially episode 10. So we've
Woohoo!
made it to 10 episodes, and I think it's been fun. I think it's been fun so far. I've had
Yeah,
fun.
it has flown by.
Yeah, we are about to hit summer break in a few weeks.
Not for us, of course.
Not for us.
It's
No, it's
cold.
in the middle of winter for us.
It's
Hence
freezing.
us currently being rugged up.
Yeah.
No, it's about to be summer break for F1. But before we hit summer break, we have a few more races left.
I didn't know there even was a summer break. Like,
Couple of weeks, they get a couple of weeks off. I know.
that's nice to go do summer fun things.
Yeah, the drivers definitely get into a bit of mischief by summer break, but hopefully we also have a few more answers as to seat movements by summer break.
Well, yeah, I guess if there's no races going on, then there'll be more time for decision making and that kind of stuff.
We'll get into that later. Um, as I said, episode 10, another race week we've just had. A special one for me being my other home race, the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona. Barcelona.
Is it a street race or is it a circuit?
Second.
Okay. It would be cool if it was a street race. It was a street race, but there's a lot of narrow streets. So.
Well, in 2026, if I remember correctly, it does move back to Madrid, which will more than likely be
a
street race.
That's a bit sad, but also cool to have another street race.
Not sad. Back in Madrid, we get to go back to Madrid.
But sad to leave Barcelona. But why was it moved to Barcelona? They felt like it.
Yeah.
Fair
Me
enough.
sometimes. Yeah. Another race week. Special one for me. Special one for two drivers on the grid. Carlos Sainz and Fernando Alonso. Start of the week with Carlos doing a lot of media appearances, doing some shows, doing some radio interviews, doing some podcasts, closing down the streets of Barcelona to oh no, I think it's Madrid actually. To do donuts in the street.
Nice.
That was really fun. That was really cool to see. And yeah, it was really lovely. I think we just jump straight into the race weekend.
Is Carlos the only Spanish driver on the grid?
Fernando Alonso.
Oh, of course.
I just said that. I just said Fernando's name.
I'm sorry, I zoned out.
Yeah, that's not new.
I was just
not new.
Off with the fairies for
off with the fairies.
A moment there.
So yeah, let's jump straight in because there's a lot, but not a lot to talk about.
There is, yeah.
There's a lot that I'm not gonna say.
That you're not gonna say.
Yeah. I considered. No, I didn't consider. I threw a little bit of a tantrum, and didn't want to film this episode because of things that have happened in the last few days. But it is my home Grand Prix, and this is what we're here for. Is the bad weeks, the good weeks. We're here to talk about it. So
the good, the bad, and the ugly. And by that, very ugly.
I'm not gonna get into that.
More like ugly behaviour.
Yeah, very ugly behaviour. Let's get into it. So FP1 saw pretty good results. With The top three being Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, and Carlos Sainz.
That's a good one.
FP1 having Lando in P1.
Very good.
That's my guy. And Carlos in the top three for his home Grand Prix.
Very good.
Fernando was down in P9. Seemed like a bad week for Piastri. He just couldn't get it together in Barcelona.
Was he like? How did he go in the um free practice? Like, did he get a good speed or no?
No, he seemed to be struggling to handle the car.
Hmm.
Um,
That's
and the
interesting.
pace just wasn't there, and they were very confused. And this did continue for honestly the rest of the weekend. FP2 saw another surprise Mercedes appearance with Lewis Hamilton in first, Carlos Sainz in second, and Lando Norris in third.
Wow, Hamilton in first.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
yeah. And again, Piastri in seventh, still just doesn't have that pace. FP3, bit more normal, kind of, but not. Carlos Sainz in first, Lando Norris in second, Charles Leclerc in third, and Piastri in 10th. Just to continue this trend of
To throw it in there.
just to explain that he really did not have a good weekend. We've seen the results
proof.
Piastri has been pulling. This was not it for him. We still know what was going on. Pace was not there. Then we have qualifying. Now qualifying saw some shock movements from what we're used to lately. I'm so tired. Yes. So qualifying had some shock. Oh my god, I can't speak. Shock.
You're too eepy.
I'm way too eepy.
We're both a bit eepy, so
It's been a long day.
not for me. I did nothing all day. I'm just
It's been a long
eepy.
day for me.
She
It's been a
worked.
long weekend for me. Back to front of the grid. Unfortunately, we did see Logie Sargent back in P20.
Oh, that's sad.
We did see Alex Albon in P19 though, so Williams just did not have a good weekend. Then came another two, kind of shocking to be this far back. In 18th, Ricardo, and in 17th, Sonoda.
Wow.
Yeah, Sonoda finally
One
not in
after
the
the
top
other.
10.
Oh, that's kind of sad. He was doing so well for a few weeks.
Yeah, they brought some upgrades, and the upgrades did not work as expected, or I don't know, something just seemed off with the car. Neither of them could kind of get the pace this weekend, unfortunately. Then we had Kevin Magnussen in 16th, Zhou Yu in 15th, Lance Stroll in 14th, Hulkenberg in 13th, Bottas in 12th, Fernando Alonso, unfortunately, falling just outside the top 10 in 11th in his home Grand Prix. Very
That's a
upsetting.
shame.
Piastri in 10th.
Yay.
That's far back for Piastri.
Oh no. At least he's
No, this is where it gets shocking. Piastri was out qualified in ninth place
What?
by Esteban Ocon
But how does
in the
that work?
Alpine.
If he's in
The
ninth place.
Alpine had faster. Piastri was in 10th. Ocon was in ninth. Perez made it to Q3 in 8th. Another shock out qualifier for not only Piastri but Perez as well. Gasly in 7th.
7th.
The Alpine was in 7th.
Well, that's a bit of a plot twist.
I love this. The French are finally moving.
Yay, the French.
Go the French.
Oui, oui.
Hey, no potty talk in this podcast.
I'm so sorry.
Then we have top 6 with the third row of the grid being Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. Quite far back for Carlos Sainz after being top 3 for all 3 practices. with great times, and then when it came to qualifying, something just went wrong. Second row being a Mercedes lockout of George Russell in fourth and Lewis Hamilton in third. And the top two in second position, Max Verstappen, and in pole position for the second time in his career for a feature race, not a sprint race, feature race. For the first time since Sochi 2021. Lando Norris.
Yay! Yay, Lando.
Redemption day for Lando. Sochi was a heartbreaking time. We don't like to think about Sochi, but
Why? What happened? I feel like I don't know the lore.
So 2021, Lando got pole position, and Sochi was a bit unpredictable weather-wise, and he got asked, "Do you think it's wet enough to put on intermediate to wets?"
Yeah.
And he said, "No, I think I can do a couple more laps." Right after he said that, he spun out from the wet track.
Oh, that's a shame.
And crashed out.
So
and he could have. That was one that he almost would have won.
Just made a bad call.
Bad call, bad strategy, just on his behalf. It was a big mistake, and it still gets brought up to this day.
I'm sure he's very aware of it.
Yeah, we don't like talking about Sochi. It is what it is. But yes, that was an unfortunate miss out for him. But we got another one. Got another, and an amazing lap time to get that pole position. 1:11.3 when Verstappen was 1:11.4. So incredible run for that lap time to get that pole position. Very impressive. Not a lot happened in the FPs. Qualifying, Piastri being so far back in 10th was because in Q3 he actually didn't get to set a lap time. He had his lap times deleted for track limits. When he tried to do a final run to get a good lap time to move it up, he ran wide and went into the gravel. Not great. That's what I mean. He could not handle the car this weekend. Like something just was off. And then we have the race results. Kind of upsetting, if I'm being honest. Again, Logan Sargent in 20th. Yuki Tsunoda in 19th.
Oh gosh, that's a big drop.
Big drop for Tsunoda. Unfortunately, they couldn't get that car to work the way they wanted it to this weekend. Yeah. Alex Albon in 18th.
Mm-hmm.
Magnussen in 17th. Bottas in 16th. Daniel Ricciardo moving up quite a few spots.
Yay.
To be 15th.
That's good.
Oh, hold on. I forgot to talk. I was talking about qualifying. I blanked. Piastri was starting 10th. Piastri started 9th because as of last race, Perez had a 3-place grid penalty, which actually moved him down to 11th.
Right.
Which moved Fernando Alonso up to 10th.
Oh, okay.
So Fernando did get to start in the top 10.
Oh, that's nice.
We love that.
I like that for him.
We're very happy with that one. Stroll in 14th. Zhou Guanyu in 13th. Fernando Alonso unfortunately finishing outside the points in 12th. Hülkenberg in 11th. For the second race in a row, the Alpines in the points.
Yay, Alpine!
With Ocon in 10th and Gasly in 9th.
Yay, the French.
Go Gasly. I love Gasly.
The baguettes aren't fighting.
The baguettes are still fighting.
Oh,
but
they
the
are
baguettes are fighting in a good way now.
They're fighting for their place.
Yeah, the French Civil War is
You're bringing that up?
the French Civil War.
That went very deep.
It's fighting in another way now. Perez ending up in 8th, Piastri in 7th. A not so great race weekend again for the Ferraris with Carlos Sainz in 6th and Charles Leclerc in 5th. George Russell in fourth, and our podium three being Lewis Hamilton in third, Lando Norris in second, and Max Verstappen in first. Unfortunately, yes, we did hear the Dutch anthem again. But this continues the streak of Lando being the only driver to be in the points every race this season.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
Every race.
That's so impressive.
Yeah. We had fastest lap go to Lando Norris with a 117. 117.1. Fastest pit stop to Red Bull with a 1.92 second. And driver of the day for another week, which caused so much controversy, Lando Norris.
Yay! Lando, driver of the day again.
He
Wait, so
deserves it.
how many times has he had driver of
I
the day?
will be honest, I've lost count so far this
Which
season.
is a good thing.
I've lost count this season. A lot of people think he didn't deserve it. They think it's a popularity contest, and a lot of people complained about how could he get driver of the day when he lost a place. He lost the place to Verstappen.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I think he deserved driver of the day, not just because I'm a fan, but one part of the race that will forever be burned into my mind for such an impressive reason was the overtake he did on George Russell at one point.
Yeah.
Where he overtook, and as the next corner approached, Russell got the position back. But by the next corner, this all happened in like the span of like 15, 20 seconds. By the next corner, Lando got the lead back.
Yeah.
And it was so impressive and smooth to watch.
Side by side we go with Lando Norris. George Russell went mega defensive. Lando Norris goes around the outside of turn number 3, uses that fresher rubber, and now Russell tries to come back around the outside. He'll get the inside line for turn number 5. All of this battling is giving an advantage to Max Verstappen out front, and it was a brilliant battle, a battle that continues. Traction race, fresher rubber, inside line.
I don't know how anyone could watch that and think he didn't deserve driver of the day for that alone.
Yeah, I feel like I need to see the.
Very nice. It was really nice. With these standings, something else has happened that I'm very proud and impressed of. The championship standings have had a bit of a shuffle around.
Yeah.
Lando Norris, now second in the World Drivers' Championship for the first time in his career in Formula One.
Oh, wow.
He overtook Charles Leclerc in the points.
Yay! I like that.
Lando in P2. Lando in P2.
So for the World
Drivers' Championship.
Wow.
Max is still in first by a little bit of a gap. But yeah.
So when is the world, like, what is the difference between the World's Drivers' Championship?
So every race week, this is the fun part of the podcast. This is why we started this, so I can teach you this stuff. Every race week, they race for points.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I never fully understood the whole points concept. I thought it was just.
Yeah. So those points go towards the World Driver Championship. There's 2 championships they race for during the year. The World Driver Championship and the World Constructors Championship.
Yeah, I heard of the constructors, but
so that's the team one.
Yeah.
The drivers is their personal. And you want to be the champion. When I say Max Verstappen is the 3-time world champion, because he's won it 3 times in a row. Well, he's run it 3 times. They were in a row. But it doesn't have to be in a row. Lewis Hamilton's a 7-time world champion. That's how they get it. So the more points you get, the higher you go up the rankings. The person with the most points at the end of the season is the driver's champion. It does not have to get to the end of the season. Last year, Max Verstappen had won it by Qatar, if I remember correctly. So still
Wait.
races after that.
So you can, but how does that work if
He
you
was
win it?
so far ahead in the points that there is no way that anyone could have gotten enough points to overtake him for the rest of the season.
Is there like a point maximum?
Nope.
So they just
Like obviously
wow.
he kept getting after that, but yeah, because there was no way that anyone could get enough points to overtake him. But after that in the season, with how many he had and how many points were able to be won for the rest of the year, he won it by, I think it was Qatar, and yeah, sealed it. I think I can't remember if the constructors was also sealed by that point. I think it might have been. But interestingly enough, Max Verstappen last year won enough points throughout the entire season that he alone could have won the Constructors' Championship. He did not have to have a teammate because the Constructors, the team that ended up in P2, the amount of points they had was still less than Verstappen had on his own.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. Crazy work. When I say he's an impressive driver, I mean an impressive driver. So, yeah, he is currently in first place for drivers. Red Bull is currently in first place for constructors. So Verstappen is currently ahead in the points again. Charles Leclerc was in second. Lando was in third. It has switched around. We now have Verstappen in first, Leclerc in third, Lando in second. Lando has moved up. He is now 2 points ahead of Leclerc, thanks to his driver of the day one as well. And yeah, very, very impressive. Very, very, very impressive year for Lando Norris. I mean, he's always been an impressive driver. I've said it for years. But God, is he doing amazing this year. I don't know what fire was lit under his ass.
A big one.
A big one.
A bonfire.
Impressive. Very proud.
Bunsen burner.
Very proud.
Ugh.
Race-wise, though,
Stinks.
there was... I know.
I just got a real big waft of it.
Thanks.
Bang!
Race-wise, though, some things did happen that I'm not going to speak too far into because I want to, as I said, filming this episode in general
I feel
was already going to be annoying
but
enough.
you gotta go a little bit into things.
I gotta go a little bit into
like,
things.
when we, touch on gossip and stuff, gotta...
Well, not even just gossip. Ferrari, bad strategy. Bad strategy this weekend. Personally, not just as a Sainz fan, which I'm a very big Sainz fan, we know this.
And I'm a big Leclerc fan, so
yeah. Things that happened this weekend, just as an F1 fan in general, have definitely upset a lot of people. Biggest thing being, unfortunately, Ferrari's... I don't want to say it this way, but it's the only way to really say it. Ferrari's treatment of Sainz at his home race versus Leclerc's treatment in Monaco.
yeah,
Very, very different from the team.
there was some real bad sportsmanship going around.
Really bad sportsmanship. So, I said not much happened during the free practices because it didn't. One thing that did happen, though, and I wanted to wait till now to speak about it, is the incident between Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris. Now, Charles Leclerc claims that Lando was impeding his lap. Lando was off the racing line. Charles Leclerc, in the only way I can say this, threw a tantrum and swerved into Norris and caused damage to the front wing. Now, after the session was over, they got called to the stewards. Lando did not find out the results of this until after qualifying. They didn't tell him because the final results for what was happening with it being looked into were not announced until qualifying was starting. Now, for any other driver, any other time this has happened, it's been a grid penalty, it's been a fine, it's been something. Leclerc got a slap on the wrist and just got a reprimand.
Yeah, it's not fair. Like we've seen other drivers get like a full penalty or worse for doing much less than that. Like
Yeah.
it's obvious that there is some kind of favoritism or just
I don't know how he got
something going on.
nothing but a reprimand, but here we are. Now, as I said, Lando didn't find out until after qualifying. Bless you.
Thank you.
He found out from Max Verstappen, who
Wait, what?
Max Verstappen. They finished qualifying, obviously being front of the grid. And first thing Max says to him is, "Did you hear you only got a reprimand?"
That would really piss him off.
And Lando went, "What? That's all he got?" And Max went, "Yep." And he went, "My whole front wing was fucked."
Yeah,
And Max was like, "Yeah."
That's just not on.
So this was just the start of Ferrari's little treatment v treatment. Well, yeah. During the race, some bad calls were made. The most notable being a decision that was made for a pit stop. And right before Carlos came in, they said, "What tyre strategy do you think? What do you think is going to be best? Do you want softs, mediums, or hard? What do you think?" And the way they asked it, Carlos knew.
This
And
really pissed me off.
I hate that Carlos knew, because that breaks my heart. He stayed silent. They asked him again with a bit more force and said, "What tyre are we going with?"
The fact that he stayed silent because he knew that he was basically being like
He knew what
set
they were
up.
about to do to him. So Carlos decided on softs. He said that's going to be the best strategy, because he's a little strategist up in there, in that brain. He said softs. So they pitted him and put him on hards. Then they pitted Charles Leclerc and put Charles Leclerc on softs.
Because
Because
he's
they
the only
knew,
one that matters apparently.
as I said, he knew what they were about to do to him.
The fact that he knew he was about to be screwed over and he did not want to tell him because he didn't want to be, but he has to be honest because he knows what the best strategy is. And for them to just go right out and just do the exact opposite of what he said, like that is just foul. That's so wrong.
And then they made him give up position to Charles Leclerc when Charles Leclerc wasn't chasing or anything, and did nothing with that position switch. Yeah, really, really disappointing from that. And then to segue into the gossip side, bless you. Segue into the gossip side. There's a lot of footage that's come out of the way one Ferrari driver spoke to another Ferrari driver. And then, during their media duties after, said first Ferrari driver belittling the other Ferrari driver in his home race, saying it just seemed like he wanted to do something special for his home race, and now is not the time to do it, especially in such a crucial part of his career. Making a dig into the whole no confirmed seat yet. No need for that behaviour, especially during his home race when he did everything he could for you. And when Carlos found out what was said, he was quite upset to hear that. And he said, "What's he crying about now? Like, what? I didn't do anything." And that's very hurtful that during Charles' home race, Carlos was so supportive. He said it before the race of he was going to do everything he could to help Charles. Like, he's not going for that win. That win was going to be for Charles. He'll do anything to make sure he gets that win. And to not even have common decency for his own home race from his teammate was very, very disappointing to see.
It was very self-centered, selfish behavior, honestly. It was just all about him.
It's been crazy to see how many people have actually spoken up about this and said that's not okay behavior. It's really not okay behavior.
It was not good teammate behavior. It was just not. It wasn't. It was it. You can tell Ferrari's really babied him and made him feel like he has the right to act this way, and because there's no consequences for it either, like he can get what he wants, which I think is really unfair.
It is. It truly is. That's all I'm gonna say about that. We're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna hope that somebody learns their lesson on how to be more sportsmanlike before the next race weekend, which is Austria, which is this weekend, because it is the triple header. We go Spain, we go Austria, we go Silverstone. So it's gonna be fun. Gossip wise, we don't really have anything this week. It's always good. No confirmed seats moved. More rumors. But Carlos has now said that he wants his decision made over the next few weeks. He wants to have it out of his brain. It's taking up too much space in his brain. He just wanted to have a few days at home to think over it before making a decision. So now he's had those few days at home. He should be heading off to Austria, which means hopefully in the next week or so we will have answers as to what colour I'm going to be wearing next.
I mean, the purple looks good on you, so maybe you
It's
should.
not a purple team. It's not purple.
It looks grey in the camera, but
It does look grey in the camera.
purple.
It's a lavender.
It's nice purple.
But yeah, that's all. We'll leave the episode. We'll shorten, not so sweet this time. Great race for my home race. A horrible outcome for certain things. You have anything you want to say?
I'm just a bit disappointed. Yeah. I mean,
you heard it here first, folks, from a Charles Leclerc fan.
My favorite driver. I'm just pretty disappointed and kind of bit left a sour taste in my mouth. Hopefully, there is some kind of I don't know. I don't want to say or expect an apology, but some kind of actions that'll make up for it.
Yeah. Let's hope. Yeah. We'll see how the rest of this year goes, and we'll obviously see how he goes with the new teammate next year.
Yeah, I'm keen to see that. See how that's gonna go. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, there's nothing else to say. I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Spain. It's a pleasure as always. Muchas gracias.
And thank you to whoever is watching our podcast.
Yeah. We don't talk about that enough. But whether it's one viewer or 100 viewers, we are grateful because we get to do this. We get to have fun. We get to talk about something we enjoy.
Yeah, and just have a little yappy yap. And for people, or if there is anyone who is listening, I'm sorry and thank you.
Wise words. Alright, we'll sign off there. We'll see you next week for Austria.
Oh, finger cracked.
Do your little thing.
Bye.